You wake up every day with an enemy. Not outside, not in your job, not in the world. The enemy is in your head. It steps your own mind, feeding you excuses, creating fear, convincing you to settle, to delay, to avoid discomfort. That voice that says you still do it tomorrow. You're tired? You've already tried enough. That voice is not your friend. It's the most dangerous thing you'll ever face because it knows you. It knows your weaknesses. It knows your insecurities, and it will weaponize every single one of them to keep you average. You weren't born weak. You were born powerful. But somewhere along the line, the world fed you lies. Your environment trained your mind to believe in limitations, to fear failure, to avoid risk, to wait for the right time. But here's the truth. The right time never comes. No one is coming to save you. You will either master your mind or be enslaved by it. And most people, they never break free. They live their entire life in mental chains and they call it being realistic. The mind is tricky. It creates comfort zones and convinces you they are safe. But comfort is a lie. Growth never happens in comfort. Success never comes from comfort. And greatness, that's earned through war. War with your own thoughts, your doubts, your habits. Every day is a battle. Every day you either win over your mind or you lose. There is no neutral. There is no cruise control. Either you're pushing forward or you're behind. Discipline. That's the only language the mind understands. You train it like a muscle. You force it to obey. You wake up when it says sleep. You work when it says rest. You grind when it says quit. Eventually the mind starts to listen. Not because it wants to, but because you've shown it who's in control. And once that happens, the game changes. You don't need motivation anymore. You become the motivation. You don't wait for energy. You create it. You don't fear failure. You chase it. Look around you. Everyone is soft. Everyone is addicted to comfort. They scroll endlessly. They complain, they blame, but if you're watching this, you're different. You feel that fire. You know, deep down, you're meant for more. That voice inside, not the weak one, but the savage, it's still alive. It quotes, waiting for you to let it out. But it only comes out when you shut down the lies, when you stop being a slave to pleasure, when you stop negotiating with laziness, when you stop letting your emotions lead and start letting your purpose lead. Let me tell you something real. The mind will never stop testing you. Not at 20, not at 30, not at 60. It's your lifelong opponent. But here's what you need to understand. It's also your greatest weapon. You think Andrew Tate became who he is by being soft? You think winners are born with some magical advantage? No. They trained their minds to stay locked in while everyone else was distracted. They embraced suffering while others ran from it. They rejected comfort and chased war. And in that chaos, they found peace. Because true peace doesn't come from escaping difficulty. It comes from dominating it. The mind will always find a way to sabotage your progress unless you teach it who's boss. It will tempt you with comfort, with doubt, with pleasure. It will try to keep you safe, but nothing about a legendary life is safe. Nothing about growth is easy. If your mind isn't working for you, it's working against you, period. So what do? You develop mental calluses. You earn them by suffering on purpose. Cold showers. Early mornings. Long hours. Discipline. Sacrifice. You do the hard things not because you enjoy them. Strong minds conquer. Every setback is a test. Every failure is a challenge. And every excuse is a chain. You want to be free? Break the pattern. Detach from comfort. And remember this, your emotions lie. Your excuses lie. Your old habits lie. But action, that's truth. That quotes power. That quotes power. You beat the enemy inside. The mind is your enemy until you learn it only obeys the one who refuses to control. That man, he becomes unstoppable. That man, he becomes legendary. You want to be that man? Then stop listening to the weak version of you. Kill that version daily. Train your mind to obey or accept the life of those who didn't. It's that simple. So now what? You heard the truth. You know the war you sit fighting isn't set out there, it sips in here, in your head. But the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Most people hear messages like this, nod their heads, feel fired up for 5 minutes, and then go right back to living like slaves. Why? Because they think information is transformation, but it's not. You can watch every motivational video in the world. If you don't move, nothing changes. The transformation only begins when you apply what you've learned. When you put your mind through daily discipline drills, when you do hard things over and over until they become normal. Until suffering becomes strategy, until pain becomes purpose. You want to be elite? Then you need to earn your identity. Not just once, every day. You don't become a beast by accident. You build one decision at a time. Right now, you have two voices in your head. One is soft. It wants pleasure, ease, validation. That voice will destroy you slowly. The other voice, it sits quiet at first, but it sits real. It sits the one that says, get up, train, sacrifice, shut up and do the work. You need to feed that voice until it drowns out the other one. That's how the shift happens, when your actions align with the warrior inside you, not the coward. You know what the most dangerous man is? It's not the loudest one in the room. It's the one who has mastered himself, controlled his emotions, weaponized his mind, built discipline through suffering. When the mind tries to break him, he breaks it instead. When life throws chaos, he stands calm. When weakness creeps in, he crushes it before it grows. That man is rare. That man is respected. That man becomes unshakable, But here's the part nobody wants to hear. Becoming that man is going to cost you. It's going to cost you your laziness, your distractions, your addictions, your comfort, your soft habits. It's going to cost you the old version of yourself. And most people aren't willing to pay that price. They'd rather stay mentally broke and emotionally weak just so they don't have to feel pain. But you, if you're watching this, if something inside you is still burning, then you're not most people. You're part of the 1%, the savage few. The men who look in the mirror and say, I'm not there yet, but I will be, and nothing's going to stop me. Not fear, not failure, not fatigue, not doubt, not even pain. You use all of it. You turn every setback into strength. You turn every no into fuel. You turn every dark moment into drive. Because the truth is, you don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's brutal, when it's lonely. That's when you build the man inside. That's when the weak mind starts to die and the warrior mind takes over. Every rep you push when you're tired, you win. Every morning you rise early, you win. Every moment you choose discipline over distraction, you win. And those wins stack, quietly, day by day, until one day you wake up and you are the man others admire. Not because you talked about it, because you became it. Your mind, it'll still whisper. It'll still tempt you. It never fully shuts up. But now you'll have the power to laugh at it, to control it, to use it as fuel instead of letting it slow you down. That's the game. That's the mastery. You want power? Because at the end of that path is the real you, the unstoppable version, the one that doesn't break, doesn't fold, doesn't quit. But you'll never meet him by accident. You have to kill who you are to become who you're meant to be. So don't just listen to this. Live it. Execute it. Shut down the weak voice in your head and build the strongest version of yourself the world has ever seen. Because that version, he's not found, he's forged. And until you learn this truth, the mind will always be your enemy.